All right, everybody. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to your class with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Uh, this evening's lesson is going to be on a topic called imposed domestic ignorance. Imposing something on someone or allowing something to be imposed on us, on our beliefs and on our thinking patterns and our directions and stuff in life. Okay, it says, when we as people impose, we force something unwanted and unwelcome or unfamiliar to be accepted or put in place by demanding other people's attention or commitment. Ignorance means knowing little or nothing. It means being uninformed about a particular subject. An ignorant person can be a very dangerous person to themselves, their families, their communities, and the world around them. Ask yourself questions, all right? It says, for those who impose your domestic ignorance on others, is your imposed domestic ignorance learned by others or self-learned that you choose to impose on others? I mean, is it something you just learned on your own and you just choose to put it on other people? You know, are you one of those kind of people like, you know, you got to agree with me on everything. I got to fizzle your mind, poison your mind with all kind of stuff to make you roll and ride with me. All right, we're going to read on. Right, number 2. When it comes to being the receiver of imposed domestic ignorance, were you one of the people who attacked Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee before agreeing with him, right? Before switching lanes and agreeing with him and most Americans when George Floyd said that he could not breathe. Funny that I keep up on a lot of news, a lot of events, a lot of things that happen, and I remember watching footage. I remember watching provocateurs, individuals who tear other people down, who hear something about even their own brother and seek to bring them down by saying things that they hear other people say. And I heard a lot of stuff about Kaepernick, and it wasn't positive. You know, I actually agreed with Kaepernick, and I gave thumbs up for him taking a stand, especially being in such a large arena, you know, in the focus of America, being, you know, the quarterback he was. So, you know, it's funny that it takes an incident that's broadcast around the world for some of us to wake up, you know. But I'm also grateful that we have woken up to at least the point that it appears to be a wake up. All right. So, number 3. To the imposed domestic ignorance, do you feel it's okay for black people to kill black people, but find a problem when police and other people kill black people? You know, some other killings is going around too, and it's like many of us are in fear when someone from our neighborhood, when someone comes into our neighborhood, someone that looks like you, someone that looks like me, someone that takes a crazy stand, someone that you live in the neighborhood with, who kills, right, somebody that may be your friend, who kills another friend. I don't want us, I hope that we don't continue to go into an area of just addressing one thing. There's a lot of boxes we need to address. We need to address when there's a situation where that friend is arguing and fussing with another friend, that we say stop. No, we don't do that. We have to start speaking up, and we have to start letting it be known, don't do that. Because it's real sad to go to a funeral later and be all boo-hooing and saying I miss JoJo and Bubba and them, right? Well, we don't have to miss Bubba and them in this particular way if we stand up and say we don't do that, right? Enough forces stand up and say, hey, we don't do that. Don't do that, man. You know, don't make us go to a funeral for another brother or another sister. So we have to speak up, right? All right? Number four. When it comes to the subject of race, did your imposed domestic ignorance teach you to respect all racial and ethnic groups and not respect your own ethnic racial group? I mean, does your imposed domestic ignorance teach you that I'm gonna respect all those other people, but like, you know, my own people, I'm not gonna give them respect. Example of that is that, you know, I watch and I admire certain things that I see in other racial groups, right? I see the Hispanic group. I see when their particular sisters are walking down the street, I see how they put protection on them. They walk in large groups. They're not going to just let them walk to the store and absorb all the mess that's going on in this country, right? It is a different kind of thing. I see, even if they happen to be disrespectful at home, I don't know if they're disrespectful or not. But if we are going to be disrespectful at home, hopefully we can work on that. But don't be out in public disrespecting your sisters, right? And expect other people and other cultures to respect your sisters, right? You got to stand up and show other people how you want yourself and your sisters and your brothers to be treated, right? You have to teach people how to treat you, right? Don't teach them the wrong way how to treat you by acting ignorant, all right? Number 5, to the imposed domestic ignorance society, does your imposed domestic ignorance have you thinking that 6 plus 4 equals 1 and 7 plus 2 equals 3? I mean, what's your math? I mean, like, you know, a lot of times we so set back, so not using the brain, right? That our math is all messed up. Our math is all messed up. You know, I hear it all the time, especially from different groups and different places, man. It's like, I'm going to just do this by myself. You know, we don't add, you know, and acknowledge that, you know, if we come together as a whole, we're much more powerful. We're much more powerful. I'm even, again, on this video, as I've done the past video about George Floyd, I'm grateful even with the numbers of the other races of colors. I'm grateful even for the white Caucasian race coming together with the community of the black man and the black woman. I'm grateful for that because we're a lot more powerful in numbers, right? We're a lot more hard to hit in numbers. I mean, sure, they're going to be people that want to take you out for doing the right thing, right? Yeah, they're going to be like, hey, man, we was more happy when you guys were taking each other out. You know, they're going to be some people that say, hey, we want that to stop too. You know, there's some people out there that say Black Lives Matter, right? But one thing about Black Lives Matter, you know, we as a African American community, black lives need to matter to us. And not just when your own son or your own nephew comes up dead. You know, we got to save these lives, right? We can be eliminating the next black president, you know, or the next black presidents over and over and over, you know, and executives to corporations. I mean, you know, the richest place on the planet is a cemetery, you know, and we just is putting all kind of valuables in the dirt instead of letting them live and prosper. So we need to look at that, all right? Number 6, when it comes to the way you act and react and behave towards others, does your imposed domestic ignorance have you believing ignorance? Have you behaving ignorant because you don't know any other way to act? Right? Let's read that again. When it comes to the way you act and react and behave towards others, does your imposed domestic ignorance have you behaving ignorant because you don't know any other way to act? Right? Sometimes that's all we know. But I don't want to leave you right there with, oh, this is all I know. That's why, hey, know something new. Get something new. You know, take that tape out. Put a new CD player in, right? Quit watching your own rerun movie. You know, it doesn't have to end there. You can play on and play on to a better zone, right? We all make mistakes. Forgive yourself and move forward, brothers and sisters, right? Number 7. When it comes to the length and time you're known to stay in most relationships, does your domestic ignorance stop you from making most relationships last longer? When it comes to the length and time you're known to stay in most relationships, does your domestic ignorance stop you from making most relationships last longer? Sometimes they just end real quick. I'm talking about you get in one relationship one day and the next day it's over with. You know, you say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, you keep doing the same stupid thing, and you keep getting the same stupid results and bad results. So, right, you got to do something about that imposed domestic ignorance that you find others putting on you and find yourself putting on yourself, right? It's hard to see the picture when you're still inside the frame, right? Number 8, to the domestic violence abuser, does your domestic ignorance have you believing that the people you're known to abuse love and enjoy the abuse they receive from you? To the domestic violence abuser, does your domestic ignorance have you believing that the people you're known to abuse love and enjoy the abuse they receive from you? Why do I say that? This is what I hear. This is what I hear in groups. I'm hearing so much ignorant stuff. Oh, she like it when I beat her upside the head. Oh, he like a woman, you gotta say, to whoop on him and mess his car up and throw paint on the walls. And really, you know, we begin to believe that someone likes that kind of stuff. We believe that someone likes that kind of stuff. You know, I'm often wondering about what's going on now in the streets of America, and with the rioting of races, with the rioting of those that originally came from racist families, may have came from racist families, and the number of people of all cultures joining in for one cause and one purpose. I'm often thinking about our forefathers and our presidents from George Washington on down, and I'm wondering about their inner feelings, their decisions to buy into the thing called slavery, free labor even. And I'm thinking about them and how they may be tossing and flipping and turning inside their graves now to see all people around the world joining together for one cause that's called Black Lives Matter. I'm really wondering, you know, and I'm joyed to even in the thought of thinking how they're tossing and turning in their graves, right? Saying, how dare you people join together? How dare you people stomp the devil and push him away and have a cause and say, hey, you know, this stuff ain't cool. You know, I don't agree with what's going on in the black community. I don't agree with dogging anybody that's human or even dogging a dog out. I don't believe these people are shouting out and they are being heard. Finally, the voice of the weak, the voice of the person, of the people at the bottom is being heard, even if it's spoken through others' mouths and things like that. It is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So we're going to end it right here. I'll be back again with another lesson, another blessing. Yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton, your domestic violence counselor. Thank you. Oh, and before I go, check into my site and give a thumbs up, right? Go on to YouTube and type in domestic violence with the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Domestic violence with the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Watch my videos, help me come up, right? Help me so I continue to help you, and help me get a job where I can see some money. I'm doing it straight from the heart right now, but hey, I love doing it anyway, whether I get paid or not. But God is paying me and God is paying you. That's why you're able to watch. All right, so thank you again. Bam.